Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Gate Guardian deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because we finally have Dark Guardian, which is exactly what this deck needed, giving us a new big boss monster that actually helps us recycle our resources to get it on our side of the field. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Linking your name, description, every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing a single copy of Dark Guardian. This card is exactly what this deck needed because it helps us recycle our resources while also giving us basically an immortal boss monster. And this card is always treated as a Gate Guardian card, and it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must either be special summoned by Dark Element or special summoned from your hand or grave by shuffling into your deck one each of your Gate Guardian pieces that is in your hand, face up on your side of the field, graveyard, and or banish. Basically, from anywhere, you can shuffle back your Gate Guardian pieces to summon out this card, making this card extremely hard for your opponent to deal with. And if that wasn't bad enough, it has the ability that cannot be destroyed by battle, and if this card is special summoned by the effect of Dark Element, it's unaffected by other monsters' effects and of your opponent's activated spell and trap effects, which is absolutely crazy on a 3,800 attack point boss monster. This card is absolutely crazy, and the only downside of this card is it's a common. It wasn't printed as a super. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck, but it's so easy to get to, you really just need a single copy. We then play 2 copies of Sangha of the Thunder. We play 2 copies of Kazajin and 2 copies of Suijin. Now I play tested these cards at 1 each. I play tested with just 2 copies of Kazajin and 1 copy of Suijin and Sangha, and I found that even if you draw into your Gate Guardian pieces, you can still make a Gate Guardian combine, which is really cool. And so I feel like playing them at 2 each is totally fine in this deck, and every time I cut them down, I always want them back at 2 each because I don't see them enough. So I really feel like 2 each is the perfect number in this build to be able to play in this deck from play testing and playing this deck ever since it came out. And it's just really cool to be able to just get the Gate Guardian piece you need and then make a Gate Guardian combine. We then play 3 copies of Labyrinth Heavy Tank. Labyrinth Heavy Tank is the best normal summon in the entire deck because it has the ability you can normal summon this card without tributing. It cannot attack the turn it's normal summon, but during your main phase, you can place a Gate Guardian piece that's banished in your hand or deck face up in your spell and trap card zone. And then, as a continuous spell, then if you control a copy of a Labyrinth Wall card, then you can destroy 1 monster that your opponent controls, which is a really cool effect because it can't attack, but it can pop a monster, which is really nice. We then play 3 copies of Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth. This card is basically terraforming for the deck, but it's absolutely amazing because a lot of players are going to forget about its battle phase effect, which is hilarious when they do. This card is able to discard this card and then add a Labyrinth Wall card from your deck to your hand. And at the start of the damage step, if your opponent's monster battles while you control a Labyrinth Wall, meaning our field spell card, you can banish this card from the grave and destroy that opponent's monster, which is a really funny effect because you can actually pop your opponent's monster that's attacking into one of your monsters, which is great. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build. We then play 2 copies of Elemental Hero Prisma. Prisma is great as a 2-of in the build because it can basically turn into any Gate Guardian piece that you need by just revealing your copy of Gate Guardian Combine and then sending the exact Gate Guardian piece that you want to the graveyard, turning this card's name into that Gate Guardian piece so you can step into fusion plays. This card is really good as a 2-of in the deck. It's just absolutely amazing because we can also summon it off of a Hero Lives, which is great. We then play 2 copies of Magician Souls. Magician Souls is really cool in this deck as a 2-of because it has the ability you can send up to 2 spells and traps from your hand to the graveyard or your side of the field to the graveyard and then draw that many cards, which is a great ability to be able to do, but also it can Foolish Burial your copy of Kazajin because it's a spellcaster to special summon this card from your hand, which is a great ability because if this card's in your hand, you can send a level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the grave and then special summon this card. We then play a single copy of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is great because this card is the card that we use to search out our copy of Magician Souls, which is why I just play the 2 copies of Magician Souls, because I'm also playing Preparation of Rites to search out our Illusion of Chaos so we can get to Magician Souls, which is really, really good. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just a great hand trap overall. It's stopping the opponent from touching the deck, making it a great card to be able to use against your opponents. Probably one of those powerful hand traps ever created. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Riryoku Guardian. This card is definitely a 1-up in the build because it helps us OTK your opponent. With the ability, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, then you can target one monster that you control with Gate Guardian in its original name and half your opponent's life points. Then that monster gains attack equal to your opponent's life points, meaning if your life points are anything less than 8,000 and your opponents are at 8,000, you can actually use this card to be able to half your opponent's life points, pushing them down to 4,000 and giving your monster like a Gate Guardian combined a 4,000 attack point boost, making Gate Guardian combined go all the way up to 7,750, which is absolutely crazy. It also has the ability you can banish this card from the grave, and then you get to add one of your Gate Guardian pieces that's banished or in your deck to your hand, which is a great ability. We then play 2 copies of Dark Element. Dark Element is an amazing 2-up in this build. This card is absolutely crazy. It has the ability, if you have a Gate Guardian monster in your graveyard, you pay half your life points to special summon a level 11 or higher Gate Guardian monster from your hand, deck, or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, meaning that you get to instantly special summon out your copy of Dark Guardian directly from your deck, which is absolutely amazing. It also shares the ability, just like your copy of Riryoku Guardian, that you can recover one of your Gate Guardian pieces by banishing this card from the grave, which is amazing. We then play 2 copies of Double Attack, Wind and Thunder. Wind and Thunder is really good because this helps you pop cards on the field if you control a Gate Guardian monster, which is a really cool effect. I feel like you only really need 2 copies of this card because it is searchable, but it also has a really cool ability, just like your copy of Dark Elements, you can banish it from your graveyard and then recover one of your Gate Guardian pieces that's banished or in your deck to your hand, which is really cool. We then play 2 copies of Preparation of Rites. Preparation of Rites helps us search out our copy of Illusion of Chaos, which is really good to be able to get to the exact card we need so we can search out our copy of Magician's Souls, so we can get Caution in the graveyard and also maybe get a draw. We then play 3 copies of Fusion Deployment. Fusion Deployment is amazing in this deck as a 3-up, because all you have to do with this card is reveal your copy of Gate Guardian combined to special summon any Gate Guardian piece you want from your deck to your side of the field, which is amazing. The only downside of this card is it does lock us into Fusion summoning for the rest of the turn, which is not that big of a deal because we're pretty much only summoning out our Fusion monsters from the deck, from our extra deck, which is really what you want to summon is the Gate Guardian pieces. We then play 3 copies of A Hero Lives. A Hero Lives is definitely a 3-up in the deck. You pay half your life points to be able to special summon an elemental hero monster from your deck to your side of the field, meaning we can use this card to instantly summon out our copy of Prisma and then use Prisma's ability to turn into any Gate Guardian piece that we need, while also getting one into the graveyard, which is just absolutely crazy. This card is a great starter in the deck, plus it lets you pay half your life points, so it makes your copy of Riryoku Guardian live, which is crazy. We then play 3 copies of Labyrinth Wall Shadow. Labyrinth Wall Shadow is probably one of the most hilarious field spells I've ever played because everybody forgets about this card's ability. That monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned except monsters whose original level is 5 or higher, which is a hilarious thing because Link monsters don't have levels and neither do XZ monsters. And it also has the ability once per turn, during your main phase, you can place one of your Gate Guardian pieces that's banished in your hand or deck face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell, and at the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can actually target a monster that your opponent controls with less than 1,600 attack and destroy it, which is another effect a lot of players forget about, which is really powerful to be able to pop a monster on the field. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is amazing in the deck as a 3-up, just to basically stop your opponent's monster effects and lock down entire columns of spells and traps, which is really good to be able to play this card as a 3-up in the build, just as an additional hand trap that we can use against the opponent. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Gate Guardian Combine. And you can easily summon out all 3 in a game, which is absolutely amazing, especially now that we have a lot easier ways of recovering our pieces. And this card is super easy to summon to your side of the field, because it must be special summoned from your X deck by banishing the above cards from your hand, field, or graveyard, and when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card that you control, quick effect, you can negate that effect, and if you destroy that card. And you can only use this card's ability up to thrice per turn, meaning it's a 3 times negate for targeting, which is absolutely insane. This card also replaces itself with another Gate Guardian monster if this card is destroyed, which is really cool. And I love that about this card. It's a really awesome 3-of in the deck and a really easy boss monster to summon. We then play 2 copies of Gate Guardian of Wind and Water. The only downside to the 2-segment boss monsters is you do have to control the Gate Guardian monsters or Gate Guardian pieces on your side of the field, either as a continuous spell or as a monster on your side of the field to be able to summon them out to your side of the field by banishing those cards. But this card is great because it's a twice per turn spell and trap negate, which is just super cool to be able to do, and also replaces itself with one of its pieces if it does leave the field, which is just super cool about this card. We then play a single copy of Gate Guardian of Thunder and Wind. Thunder and Wind is great in this deck because during your main phase, you can add a spell trap from your deck to your hand that mentions one of your Gate Guardian pieces or your copy of your Gate Guardian, which is just so cool about this card. This card is so amazing to be able to get to any of your Gate Guardian spells or traps that you need, and it's just a really powerful card to be able to play in the deck. We then play a single copy of Gate Guardian of Water and Thunder. This card is really cool because you can drop an opponent's monster's attack points down to 0, which is a really cool effect to be able to just change an opponent's monster's attack down to 0. You can use that effect twice per turn, which is just really cool to help you go in for game. This card is amazing in the deck as a 1-of. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code is just really good at popping cards on the field, which is why we play this card as a 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff. 1 copy of Selene because it's very easy to be able to climb into your copy of Access Code because we have a bunch of spells we're going to be using, and you have cards like Magician Souls that you can bring back from your graveyard to your side of the field to help you link climb into Access Code, which is amazing. And then your Access Code comes out absolutely massive. Play a single copy of Nightmare Phoenix to pop spells and traps. 1 copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is a really good card in the deck, but you can change it out for something like a Nightmare Cerberus if you want to, but it's still really good in the deck overall because it is a double interruption to be able to deal with your opponent's plays. We then play a single copy of IP Masquerena. IP is great to help us step into a copy of SP or Nightmare Unicorn, which is really, really good. We then play a single copy of Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep's really good because we do fusion summon quite a lot in this deck, or summon fusion monsters. We don't fusion summon. We summon fusion monsters by contact fusing. But this card is really good because it has the ability that if you do summon a fusion monster zone it points to, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from our graveyard to our side of the field, which is really cool to help you link climb into something like a copy of Access Code, because you can bring back like a Magician Souls from the grave, and then link with the Magician Souls in this into Selene, then Selene can help you climb into Access Code, which is really cool. We then finally play a single copy of Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh is just really good because we do play level 1 monsters in the deck. It's just a fantastic card to be able to make because it does help out a lot in this build because you do play level 1s to prevent your monsters from being destroyed by battle with a really big monster. Just be able to protect your copy of your Gate Guardian combined is really, really nice, but it's a fantastic 1-of in the deck. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play now that we finally have Dark Guardian, which is just such a cool boss monster. I'm so glad we finally have it because it's so cool, and I'm so excited to play like a bunch of games with this deck. I already play a lot on stream when I play Master Duel with Gate Guardian, and I can't wait to get this card in Master Duel, but it's still such a cool card to be able to play in the TCG. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely hit that bell next so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.